Alongside the release of One UI 5, Samsung has also come up with an app which enhances the existing camera features of the Galaxy S22 Ultra. So check this out. If we go to the camera settings, you can see there is an extra menu here called Camera Assistant, which gives us some additional controls for the camera. Also, in addition to this, they've also upgraded the Expert RAW app, and now you've got dedicated features for astrophotography. Hey guys, Tech Guy Charlie here and welcome to the channel. In this video, I will explain what exactly the Camera Assistant does and also briefly show you what's new in the Expert RAW app. And obviously show you how to install these. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the Camera Assistant. For that, we will launch the camera and go to settings. Scroll down and here you will find the Camera Assistant menu. So let's go through all of these features one by one. So the first one toggles auto HDR. By default, this setting will be switched on and I would recommend that you leave this on unless there is a specific reason you want to switch it off. Because take a look at this photo. It has been taken with the auto HDR setting off and you can see the bright parts are overexposed and the details are completely lost. Now this one has been taken with the auto HDR setting enabled and you can see there is a big difference between the two. Here is another example without HDR and with HDR. I mean, you can actually see the sun in the picture taken with HDR on. Plus my skin tone also looks natural. So having HDR turned on will allow you to capture better details in the bright and dark areas of the photos and videos. The next one is Soften Pictures. So as the description tells you, it will soften out sharp edges and textures in a photo. And here is an example. This one has been taken without the Soften Picture option enabled. And did you notice that my beard kinda looks rough and sharp? Now this one has been taken with the Soften Picture option enabled and you can clearly tell that my beard has a smoother texture in this photo versus the other one. And here's a side-by-side comparison of both of these. You know what? I'm gonna keep this option enabled and see how it goes. Now this one is interesting. The third option lets you disable the automatic switching of the lenses. So the thing is, sometimes you might have noticed that the phone uses the main camera even when you've got the telephoto lens selected. This switch happens automatically and usually it will happen when you take photos in low light. So to demonstrate, I am going to select the 3x telecamera and cover the lens with my finger. And you can see that the phone has switched over to the main camera. Now if I remove my finger, it will switch back to the actual 3x zoom lens. This is actually a great feature of the camera because it will automatically optimize and pick the lens to prioritize the picture quality. But many of you guys will find this feature annoying. Thing is, because of this feature, you cannot even use the 10x zoom lens in certain situations. So if we switch to the 10x zoom camera, you will notice that the phone is actually using the 3x telephoto lens. And I can prove that by covering up the 3x telephoto lens. So let's disable the automatic camera switching. So with this setting switched off, the phone will always use the camera that you select and it will not auto switch between them. Doesn't matter what the condition is. Even if you cover up the lens with your finger, it will still use the camera that you have selected. And yes, this also enables you to use the 10x telephoto camera even in low light conditions. So this gives you more control over the phone's camera, which is something that I like. Alright, so moving on, this fourth option lets you switch off the ability to record video in the photo mode. If you don't know, you can actually record a video in the photo mode itself by long pressing on the camera shutter button just like this. And this setting toggles this feature on and off. I prefer keeping this feature on because this is a really convenient way to record videos in the photo mode itself because you don't have to change the camera mode to video just to record a video. The fifth option lets you select the number of photos the phone is gonna take when you use the self timer option. So let me demonstrate. Let's set this to 3 and now we are going to use the self timer to take a photo. So this is 1, 2, and finally 3. As you can see, the phone takes 3 photos instead of 1. And this setting goes all the way up to 7 pictures. The sixth option makes the camera shutter more responsive but at the cost of picture quality. So you might have noticed that the camera shutter button is a bit slow when it comes to taking photos in low light. This is because the phone takes more than one photo and combines them for better quality, but this adds a bit of shutter lag. So if you enable this option, you will notice that this makes the camera shutter more responsive. However, the downside of this is that you lose a bit of quality because the camera is now capturing fewer frames. So here is a comparison between the two. The one on the left is without the fast shutter option enabled, and the one on the right is with the fast shutter option switched on. The one on the left has better details, so the responsiveness is a trade-off between the picture quality. If you leave the camera running, it will quit by itself after 2 minutes to save battery power. So this seventh option lets you tweak the camera timeout. By default, it is set to 2 minutes, but I think this is okay. And finally, we have the option of clean preview on HDMI displays. So the thing is, when you connect your phone to an external monitor like this and launch the camera, you will notice that all of the on-screen controls also show up on the external display. And this kind of takes away useful area of the screen, especially on the right side, because I can't tell if this part is in focus or not. Now, enabling the clean HDMI out will hide all of the on-screen controls and give you a clean video feed from the camera when you've got your phone hooked up to an external display through HDMI. Meanwhile, the controls appear normally on the phone. This feature is extremely useful to me because sometimes I use my phone to film videos and I need to see what the phone is recording on a bigger screen. And having a clean vanilla preview on the external display is quite helpful. And if you are wondering, I am using a USB Type-C to HDMI and USB adapter. This thing is awesome. It allows you to hook up an external HDMI display and also charges the phone so you don't run out of battery. Very useful for filming videos. So this was a rundown of the Camera Assistant add-on. Now, you might be wondering where to get this. Well, this is available on the Galaxy Store. Just search for Camera Assistant and this is the one that you need to download. Now this is only available for the S22 Ultra as far as I am aware because I could not find the same add-on for the Note 20 Ultra or even the newer Galaxy Z Flip. So it looks like right now this is exclusive to the S22 Ultra. Anyways, moving on, the Expert RAW app has also seen an update and now they've added a new experimental feature for astrophotography. To get this feature, make sure that the app is updated from the Galaxy Store. Now, even after updating the Expert RAW app, if you don't see the astrophotography options, go to the camera settings and enable the special photo options from here. And this will enable the astrophotography tab. So this feature enables you to have a really long exposure time, up to 10 minutes, which will allow you to capture stars. Now I would love to try this feature out and demonstrate to you guys, but unfortunately it looks like it's a bit cloudy today and there is also a lot of light pollution which makes capturing stars almost impossible. But here is a picture I took a couple of months ago in the Pro mode and it does look pretty amazing. I can imagine the astrophotography mode doing a much better job at this since it is a custom built tool just to capture stars. Also, at the time of filming this video, the Sky Guide feature does not work. It crashes the app if you enable it. So this kind of feels like an experimental feature. I think it is because it's listed under labs. And I'm pretty sure that Samsung will fix this eventually. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. And as always, I include the download links to my wallpapers in the video's description. Fun fact, this is a photo that I've taken on this phone itself. Anyways, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Tech Guy Charlie here signing off.